distinguished group of speakers, Dr. Nirmala Magdalene and Dr. Venkin Santosh, to deliver their lecture on the topics Ecological Concerns for Sustainable Living and Environmental Endocrine Disruptors and Human Health, respectively. Today's national webinar was inaugurated on yesterday, and we had two eminent personalities, D. Bhuminathan and Dr. V. Deepak Samuel. They highlighted the topic on wildlife and their habitats in India and mangrove associated wildlife. They have inspired and ignited young minds through their presentation. We are very happy to announce you that nearly 400 national and international participants joined with us through Zoom and YouTube Live. As of now, YouTube views have crossed 1,100 within a day, and this remarkable count makes our event a grand success. It gives immense pleasure for us to greet you. It gives immense pleasure for us to greet you in this happy morning. I invite Dr. A. Anbu Jabamalar, librarian, C. Kandaswamy Naidu College for Women, who is the treasurer of books, to deliver the welcome address. It's over to you, Dr. A. Anbu Jabamalar, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, madam, you're audible.
Okay. Good morning to one and all present here. I am Dr. A. Anbu Jabamalar, librarian of C. Kandaswamy Naidu College for Women, Kadalur. First, I thank the Lord God Almighty for this wonderful day. I take this opportunity to welcome our speaker of honor for today's session, Dr. Nirmal Magdalene, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Zoology, Uris College, Vellore. I extend a glad welcome to our speaker for the second session, Dr. Venkin Santosh, Assistant Professor, Government Arts College for Women, Nandanam, Chennai. Gratitude is not an attitude. It is something that flows out of you. One moment of absolute gratitude can transform one's life. In this life, though there is nothing that is truly ours to give, instead, one must learn to receive the blessings of life gratefully and share these gifts with others in order to experience the beautiful phenomenon of gratitude. Such is the feeling for us today to all the speakers who agreed to share their knowledge without a second thought. It was an immediate yes from all the speakers in no time. Next, my cordial welcome goes to our principal, ma'am, Dr. K. Mullai, for her words that are always motivating, and she sees to that we do our best. She is available 24/7 and she is a leader with all leadership qualities. You are an inspiration, ma'am. I am happy to welcome IQC Coordinator, Dr. Mrs. S. Jansi Sophia, and IQC Secretary, Dr. R. Ramya, and Mrs. Kadambari, Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of Chemistry, and Mrs. Sumalata, Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Science, who have been the pillars of this program. This webinar would not have been possible without their hard work and cooperation. Finally, a warm and cordial welcome to our team of staff members, faculty members from other institutions, and student participants. Once again, I welcome one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Anbu Jabamalar, madam, for your wonderful welcome address. Our eminent and enthusiastic principal, Dr. K. Mullai, will preside over the function. Now, it's the time to introduce our chief guest, Mrs. Uma Maheshwari, madam. Are you connected?
Yeah, I'm connected. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, madam. Now, I invite Mrs. D. Uma Maheshwari, Assistant Professor of Zoology. She is a good teacher who inspires students and ignite their imagination through her innovation. I welcome her to introduce our speaker, Dr. Nirmala Magdalene, for the technical session 1. It's over to you, madam.
Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, madam, you're audible.
Good morning to one and all. I'm D. Uma Maheshwari, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, C. Kandaswamy Naidu College for Women, Kadalur. I'm here to introduce the speaker for the first session, Dr. Nirmal Magdalene, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Zoology, Uris College, Vellore, India. She started her career as a science teacher, Vishwa Bharati High School, Chittoor, Andhra Pradesh. Later on, she worked as a project associate in Madras Christian College, Chennai. She was an Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, as a research associate under the IDRP project on pollution, public health, and public policy. She did her graduation in zoology at Sri Venkateshwara University and post-graduation in Uris College, Vellore. She did a doctorate in Madras Christian College, Chennai. She has to her credit numerous scientific publications. She has presented more than 15 papers in national and international conferences, seminars, and symposia. She has attended more than 22 seminars, workshops, and conferences. She has also participated as a resource person in teacher-educator programs. She has organized many conferences and workshops. Apart from teaching, Dr. Nirmal has contributed much to research. As a person, I always admired her readiness to help people. A very friendly person, loves always to be with large groups of learned friends, takes interest in the goodness of others. She has a list of many qualities. Thank you, Dr. Nirmal, for being in this webinar today. The Corona days brought to light many hidden things. During this lockdown period, as we are arranging for this webinar, I came to know about so many of my colleagues who are so dignified in all possible ways. Thank you all for making these 2 days for the zoology department unforgettable. Never during the working days I have spent time with them. Thanks to Corona, it has also done good to the mankind, telling that life is important and not lifestyle. There is a quote which says, we have so much to learn from every person we meet. Let us learn from what the speaker of our first session says about sustainable living and learn things like 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you. Over to Dr. Nirmal.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the kind introduction, ma'am. At the outset, I would like to, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
At the outset, I would like to thank the management of Sri Kandaswamy Naidu College for Women for this wonderful opportunity. My special thanks to Dr. Mullai, the head of the Department of Zoology, the principal in charge, the convener of this program, Mrs. Uma Maheshwari, who made this possible, and all the coordinators and other faculty members who are part of this webinar in organizing such a wonderful program. So let me share my screen. Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, you're visible, Pa.
Okay. Is the screen visible now?
Yeah.
Okay. So today for the next 45 minutes, I'm going to present something which is very simple, which is very much needed for our day-to-day life. In fact, yesterday's 2 sessions was on different types of habitats and wildlife. Of course, we learned, we got to listen to a lot of new things which we didn't knew before. And of course, the next session is going to be on endocrine disrupting chemicals, wherein we'll be listening to a lot of new things. Whereas this session on ecological concerns for sustainable living is not something very new. Everyone know a lot about ecology and environment. So what is the need for this topic during this time, during this pandemic? When I was asked to give a talk, I chose this topic because I want to make use of these 45 minutes to give a sense of responsibility, to give environmental consciousness at least to few people who attend this forum. Maybe during other days, Though we know a lot of things about environment and the importance of ecology, environment, everything, we may not be in a position to think about all those things because of our busy life schedule. But during this pandemic, we have a lot of free time. Probably we have enough time to think about, analyze ourselves, uh, to change our lifestyles, so we can take a lot of decisions during this free time available. Maybe we can also do some initiatives to help our nature. So that is the reason why I chose this topic. Maybe I'm not an expert in environmental thing, but still I'm also a learner, a beginner like you, but I wish to share certain things with you for the next 30 to 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. So I hope that we all agree that everyone wants to live in a safe and wonderful world where we need we need fresh air to breathe, we need clean water to consume, we need to enjoy the view of the blue sky. So this is what everyone expects, because God has given us such a wonderful world, beautiful world, which is something unique and amazing. So I'm not going, everyone knows about that. We have such a lovely, beautiful world, which is gifted by God. So what do we do with that? Are we protecting it? Are we managing it? Are we conserving it? Are we even think about it? So if you see this picture, I'm not going deep into all the problems what we create to the nature that everyone knows. So particularly the air, soil and water, we destroy the entire nature because of our day-to-day human activities. So such a beautiful world looks like this now. So what's the reason? The reason is each and every one of us here. So what are we going to do about this? So how long we are going to live a life which is the result of these pictures, what we see on the screen. So this time, we are going to reflect on ourselves. We are not going to learn something very technical during this session, but this is going to be the time of reflection, wherein at the end of the session, I wish I would create a sense of responsibility towards the environment. So here I want to just give an emphasis on sustainable living. So ecological concerns for sustainable living. What is sustainability? Sustainable living means leading a lifestyle that attempts to reduce an individual's or society's use of natural resources. So sustainability means something to sustain, to make available even for the future generation. So practitioners of sustainable living often attempt to reduce carbon footprint. So in the subsequent slides, I'll be just mentioning about what is carbon footprint. So this is the measure of carbon what we release into the environment, every individual who releases carbon into the environment. So that is called individual's carbon footprint. So have we ever thought about how much carbon I'm introducing into the environment, giving into the environment? So what am I going to do to reduce my carbon footprint? So it's not that we enjoy everything from the natural resources. We also should think what we are leaving for the next generation. So it's not just taking everything and exhausting everything. And we need to think about the future generation not to get affected because of our lifestyle. So these are the areas on which I'm going to talk about today. Ma'am, is my screen fully visible?
madam, it is fully visible.
Okay. So on the left, you can see there are different ecological concerns on which I'm going to talk about. Increase in green cover, conservation of biodiversity, conservation of energy, conservation of water, solid waste management. So these are the 5 concerns I'm going to talk about, which is not going to be something new for all of us. It's going to be a reminder for all of us. So on the right side, I've mentioned certain things related to these ecological concerns. So these are the initiatives taken in our college campus to address these ecological concerns. Since there was a request from the organizers to focus on the green initiatives taken in the institution to make the campus eco-friendly. This comes in the NAC requirement. So now this has become a mandate for every institution, not only for every individual. Every institution should focus on the environment. So this has become criterion 7 as if you see the NAC criterion 7 talks about fully on these aspects. So I'm going to focus on that aspect parallelly. These are the initiatives we have taken. I would not say that we accomplished everything in our campus, but I would say we are taking baby steps, and hope we will be able to accomplish to finish all those projects as early as possible. So to address these issues, concerns, we need to do all these things which is given on the right side. So to start with, increase the green cover. So again, these trees is not new topic for us. I'm not going to talk about the importance of trees, plantation, everything. And can you see this picture? This is the picture taken in my street. This is the place where I live. This is such a beautiful street wherein the whole stretch for about more than half a kilometer stretch is full of these tamarind trees, which is more than 100-year-old trees. In 100 years ago, the missionaries came to this place and see the vision. They thought about the future generation. So they were not selfish. They wanted to leave something for the future generation. Today, I'm breathing clean air in this place. I'm living in a clean, unpolluted area because of somebody 100 years ago thought of the next generation. So what are we doing today? Are we thinking about the future generation? Are we at least protecting what is given to us? So there are a lot of incredible impact these plants, trees have on our life. I'm not going to explain the whole thing, what these trees are doing for us. But one important aspect I want to focus on, that is about global warming. So global warming is also a known phenomenon for all of us. It is a gradual increase in the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. So the phenomenon, what happens during this process? So heat from the sun is radiated outward, and it is absorbed by these greenhouse gases. You can see the main greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. There are other 18% of other gases like ozone, CFCs. So what these greenhouse gases do, they actually absorbs the heat radiated from the sun, and it keeps the earth warm enough to sustain life. So what is then global warming? So when the human activity because of human activity, a lot of greenhouse gases are emitted into the atmosphere than the required amount of greenhouse gases which is needed to keep the earth warm. So when the carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide and other gases increases in the atmosphere, then the earth's average temperature also changes. So this global warming, climate change is a very major issue. So why I want to focus on this particular issue, it is, we may think it is a global issue. No, it involves every one of us. Like activity depending on every individual's lifestyle depends on, contributes to the global issue. So the main cause I told you, it is increase in the carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide. You can see the percentage of the greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide 53%, methane 17% and nitrous oxide 12%. So particularly this is released because of the fossil fuel, burning of fossil fuel, and mainly because of transportation of vehicles, industries, deforestation and other activities. So, and see the list, we contribute on in everything, in burning of fossil fuels, vehicles, industries, deforestation and other human activities. So we contribute for this excess greenhouse gases, which is responsible for this main reason for this global warming. And why I'm making emphasis here, trees are proven to reverse the process of global warming. So that is more important here. So if you plant a tree, that's going to help the nature in reversing the process of global warming. And this is a 2019 India Span post, and 600 million people are at risk. Climate change may soon turn critical in India. So India is going to face a lot of impacts because of this global warming, and it is time for us to act. So as an institution, what are we doing? We need to think as an individual, what am I doing? Am I concentrating on this issue? So what are the steps I'm taking to address this issue? What are we doing as an institution? So plant a tree. If you can't do in a big level, so at least the place where you live, you need to plant trees. So that's going to definitely help. Don't think if I'm going to plant 1 or 5 trees, is it going to solve the global issue? Yes, it's going to solve the global issue when everyone takes this initiative. So let's all decide today to plant more trees. If there are 5 people in your house, in your family, please plant 5 trees to help the next generation. So the institution has to take care of this issue. So here, what is carbon footprint? So I told you this is the measure of the impact of all our activities on the environment, particularly on climate change. The carbon amount of carbon we release. So the per capita carbon emission in India is estimated to be 1.64 tons per year. So this is time for us to think on this. It's not just planting trees going to solve the issue. We need to focus on our activities wherein we need to decide to reduce our carbon footprint. So these days, the government is helping our institutions and NGOs. They give, even those who are willing to do plant trees, they are giving free lands for us. That land cannot be used for anything else, only for a plantation of trees. So this land is given free for the colleges, for the institutions and NGOs. Maybe we can approach the government corporation. Vellore Corporation gives that. So if the institution is want to take some initiative, we can approach the government so that they give, even if it is more than, the cost is more than 6,000 rupees, the government is giving the financial aid support fully to maintain the plants, trees. So this, the institution can make a note of it, and every student should decide today to plant a tree, which is going to influence the environmental carbon percentage. So there are only two things we need to understand here. Decrease the amount of energy needed for production. So there we reduce the carbon footprint. And another one, decrease the dependence on carbon emitting fuel. If we reduce the carbon emitting fuels, automatically our carbon footprint reduces. So we need to think about this carbon footprint, and every day-to-day lifestyle, we need to follow this to reduce carbon footprint. And trees will sequester atmospheric carbon dioxide at an average of 22.7 kilogram of carbon dioxide per tree per year. So this is the big help the trees are doing us. So the next some slides are going to be the campus greening work, which we initiated after 2016. Of course, it's been going on for a long time, but the Eco Club, I hope every institution has an Eco Club to contribute more for the green initiatives. And if there is no Eco Club in the colleges, please, we can plan to start immediately an Eco Club so that a lot of green initiatives can be done through Eco Club. So these are the campus greening work. Students plant a lot of trees in the campus. It is not only shade trees, fruits, and ornamental plants, so everything. And while doing these activities, I could see a lot of enthusiasm among the students. So it creates lots of environmental consciousness among them. There is so much of difference between the classwork, teaching, and the field work. So you have to take them to the field, and you have to teach them there the importance of nature. So definitely, I witnessed lot of responses, changes in my students, particularly in the Department of Zoology. At this time, I would like to acknowledge all my students who are involved regularly in the green projects, and also the staff support is more. And of course, it's a teamwork. All the staff support a lot, even from the other departments. I'll be showing a lot of slides. I'll run through a lot of slides wherein I acknowledge all the students and staff who are involved in these green projects. So make the students do this. And this is the campus greening work I initiated. I did for about 3 to 4 months in the year 2017. So here you can see all these areas were dry land. There was nothing here. And in 3 to 4 months, of course, there is a lot of hard work is put in here, a lot of hard work and effort. And with the tremendous support from the management, I was able to do this. I could make the entire campus green in just 3 to 4 months. So our campus looks like this now. Of course, during this pandemic, we were unable to maintain it, and that is biggest worrisome thing. And the next ecological concern is conservation of biodiversity. So what is biodiversity. It is the variety of life and variability of life on this earth. So when you talk about biodiversity, why we need to preserve, conserve biodiversity? So biodiversity, it is believed that the area with higher biodiversity is believed to be a stable environment. And it's vice versa. If the biodiversity is bad, very poor, which means you are not living in a stable environment. And we all know, not only zoology students, all other students are having one paper, environmental studies paper. So that 2 hours can be utilized for doing wonders in every institution. So this is not for just science students. The environmental concern or the environmental consciousness, it is every individual's responsibility to protect the nature. So if you talk about biodiversity, we all know every individual depend on other plants and animals. So every animal depend on other animals and plants. And take human being, we depend on other animals and plants for our own living. So what happens because of our human activities like deforestation, exploitation of resources, uh, destroying the natural habitats, hunting processes, so diseases, all these contribute to the loss of biodiversity. So have we ever thought of conserving the biodiversity around us? Don't think so far. So are you concerned about your neighborhood? Are you concerned about your institution, your college campus? Have you ever thought what is the biodiversity in your campus? So if it is not done so far, every individual has to think about this. Keep your neighborhood good in biodiversity and conserve biodiversity around you. If you are in an institution, if you are part of an institution, conserve your campus biodiversity. And there are a lot of species which are, we say, endangered species, means which are likely to get extinct in the near future. So the reason, again, all of us, human beings. So because of human activities, there are a lot of species are becoming extinct. So only I've put up here only few pictures, but if we don't wake up today, we are going to lose a lot of animal species. So what are we going to do today? So yesterday we listened to a talk about the forest habitats and other wildlife habitats. So we may not be in a position sometimes to go and be a part of conserving the forest wildlife, but it is very much possible that we can do something in the place where we live. It is very much possible. So let's take a pledge today to conserve the biodiversity which is around us. So for this, we need to do biodiversity register. So unless we do biodiversity register, we can't come to any conclusion what we need to do, plan of action. So first we need to register the plants and animals in our neighborhood, in our college campus. So all plants has to be registered or animal species has to be documented. Only then we can understand the biodiversity, the condition, the status of biodiversity in our area. So once we do the survey, we can calculate the green cover. And this green cover is very, very important for our institution. So the NAC requirement, you can see there should be minimum percentage of green cover. So if the institution doesn't have minimum percentage of green cover, then we'll have to concentrate increasing the green cover. This we can do only when we do the survey of plants. So we can enumerate the insect wealth, we can study the medicinal wealth of plants, nativity of plants can be studied, management of invasive species can be studied after the survey, and a nursery can be maintained. We have still not done anything about this in our campus, but it is very much necessary for every institution to maintain a nursery and herbal garden. And of course, we started in a small level, the herbal garden, small collection of herbs we have in our herbal garden. So every college should maintain a herbal garden to make it eco-friendly. Students can be benefited out of it, and it increases the medicinal traditional knowledge for all the students. We can make the students to bring all the medicinal plants and maintain the herbal garden in the campus. And of course, once you do the register, you can make your campus green. You will understand the need of campus greening. So for animal species, we can plant, we can put nest boxes. Feeders and water holes can be kept in the campus to give water and food for the animals. You can conserve the biodiversity in your campus. And butterfly garden is a very good idea. So for this, we need to do a small analysis research so that we can choose the nectar plants and plants for breeding. This needs little bit of research, but it's a very good idea. A college, if possible, can have a butterfly garden. So this is the biodiversity register we initiated in our college. Flora and fauna are registered. And this is the Flora register is done by Department of Botany. And these are the trees in our campus, shrubs and creepers in our campus, herbs, list of herbs, grass, and campus fauna is done by the Department of Zoology. Students actively take part in this program. They go to the campus. We have 2 campuses, and in both the places they do the survey, and with the very minimum resources what we have, like their cell phones, what they have, they capture all the animals present in the campus. If you have a good camera, that would help you a lot. So the campus fauna, all the animal species in the campus is almost registered. So we are still in the process of identification. And these are the pictures taken, animal species taken in the campus by the students. So in the preliminary survey, we noticed an interesting aspect. We have a lot of spiders in our campus. So spiders play a major ecological role. Of course, we'll be focusing on this significance after the survey. So these are all the pictures taken by the students we have in our campus. It is lovely to see a lot of butterflies in our campus. And mollusks, reptiles, birds, and to capture birds, we need a good camera. We are waiting for that. We'll be capturing birds soon. And students captured this beautiful picture, tree lizard, which exhibits camouflage. You can see the lizard showing the camouflage. So students learn a lot of things when they do all these eco projects. The next is conservation of energy. So energy is another important concern for us, ecological concern for us. And we all know there are 2 resources, renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Renewable energy can be replenished, naturally replenished, like sunlight, wind, rain, tides, etc. Non-renewable energy cannot be replenished, and that will eventually run out. So most sources of non-renewable energy we use is fossil fuels such as coal and gas and oil. So this is the reason why the carbon footprint is more. We emit a lot of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere because we burn a lot of fossil fuels. So we need to think how we can conserve energy. So which means we need to switch over to the renewable energy resources. So when you do energy management is very important. So what is the necessity for energy management? So what are the objectives of energy management? To achieve and maintain optimum energy procurement and utilization throughout the institution. And of course, we minimize the energy cost. Our expenses can be minimized without affecting the production and quality, and we minimize the environmental effects. So to address this issue, we have to do energy audit. So unless we do energy audit, we don't know how much energy we are using in our home, how much energy we are using in our college. So let's start with our home and college where we live, and then we can think about outside our campuses. So once we do a survey, audit, then only we understand where we are wrong. So what we need to do to reduce the energy conservation. So for this, the Department of Physics students actively took part in this work, and the staff and students. In all the buildings, the energy usage was recorded. So a team of students go and just survey how many fans and lights are there in the rooms, and what is the watts, how much energy is utilized per day. So now we have some idea how much energy all this comes in NAC criterion 7. So I hope the institution knows about that, but still for individuals, I'm like insisting on this. Those who are new to this can start thinking about it. Why we need to do energy audit? To develop an energy conservation strategy plan and guidelines for our campus. So unless we do energy audit, we cannot come to any strategy plan and guidelines for the campus. So normally the NAC requires 5 years data energy audit. So this is, I'm just showing 1 year energy audit of our campus. And this is the building wise, block wise energy consumption. And this is the month wise energy consumption. And we could found out the traditional conventional fans are consuming a lot of electricity. You can see 3970 kilowatts per hour. So here at the end of this audit, we give an appeal to the institution to change the fans or lights like LED bulbs and CFL bulbs to reduce the energy usage. So once we switch over to low energy usage instruments, so we can definitely conserve a lot of energy in the campus. As a energy conservation measure, we also installed solar panel in our campus. So solar panel, every institution can plan. It is very affordable price now. So every institution can plan solar panel to conserve a lot of energy. And the next thing is conservation of water. Every drop is important. Every drop counts. I'm not going to again talk much on what is the benefits of water, because we already know that. And there is a saying, unless we carry our own bucket of water, we will not understand the importance of water. So since we don't face any problem, we don't think about water. So what are we uh, measures taking in our home or in our campus institution to conserve water? How much water we are using, that we should know. So for this, we need to do water audit. So water audit is nothing but qualitative and quantitative analysis of water to identify means of reducing, reusing, and recycling water. So unless we do energy audit, unless we know how many liters of water is consumed every day in our college campus, every day in our home, we cannot think about reducing the water usage. So we need to do at home, we need to do first water audit. And then our immediate place is our institution. So that is what we need to think of at the first level. So do water audit in your home and water audit in your institution. So in our college, the Department of Chemistry, students and staff did water audit. And this we understand the water distribution structure of the campus. And importantly, calculation of per capita water consumption should be calculated. So to find out the problems present in the water distribution, and after the audit, we can recommend the solution to the institution. So we need to definitely do a water audit. For that, we need to first locate the sources, take the survey of how many bowels, ducts, tankers, what are the sources of water. And this is just 2 students from the Eco Club has done this beautiful job. They calculated per capita water consumption in the college campus, and they came to a conclusion that they actually uh, calculated the whole capacity in the campus, like all the water tanks, and the start time, filling time, and the end of uh, when it gets exhausted, again how many liters are pumped, the water amount of water pumped and amount of water used. So based on these data, I'm not showing here the data, they came to a conclusion, we came to a conclusion that there are 7.51 liters per capita water consumption in the college campus. So every one student is using this much water. So rainwater harvesting is one essential thing every house should have, every institution should have. So during your audit, we have to see how many rainwater harvesting pits are in the campus. If there are no sufficient rainwater harvesting pits, we need to immediately work on that issue to increase the rainwater harvesting pits. That will definitely help us to conserve a lot of water. So the students also did water quality assessment using TWARD-KIT, and these are the parameters they checked, the water, campus water, and all these parameters are within the normal levels. So I just want to tell you what is per capita consumption. Per capita means the amount of water per person per day. So that is very important. I don't know how many of us thought about this. So one average urban citizen needs 135 liters per person per day. So are we doing this? Unless we do audit in our home, we are not going to know whether we are wasting water. If we are wasting water, definitely this is the breakup for bathing, flushing, washing, washing utensils, cooking, drinking. So this comes to 135. This varies from like village to urban, city, all that. And it is said that high income households even use 600 liters and even more liters of water per day people use. And there are people who use just 40 liters because of water scarcity, just 40 liters per day. They live on 40 liters per day. So How we are going to check this? So let's think about this. Let's check our water usage at home and in our institution. The next thing is waste management. To identify the type of waste is very important, biodegradable and non-degradable, to assess quantity of waste generated, and to estimate the amount of waste collected, then identify the disposal method of waste. These are the different steps in waste management. So are we doing it in our home and in our institution to make the campus eco-friendly? This is one major aspect we fail to concentrate on, this waste management. So we should give a lot of awareness to the students, to the public if possible, for the segregation of waste. And every college, even at home, we can have it in a small level, vermicomposting pits. Our kitchen waste can be converted into manure. And these are the layers of thing we need. Very simple to uh, start a vermicomposting pit: sand, oil, leaf litter, straw, cow dung, and soil with earthworms. So but this needs little expertise, and we can get all information online in the internet how to go with it, or we can approach people who are experts in setting up vermicomposting pits for our institution. So this we can do, and definitely we can minimize the waste disposing. We can stop sending the waste out, and we can make our campus zero carbon. And to address this waste management, this should be the mantra. 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle should be the mantra in our life. So we need to cut down the waste, reduce the waste, reuse, and recycle. Only at the last stage it should go to the landfill. So what we do normally, right at the first step, we dispose it out. It goes to the environment, it goes to the landfill, and the environment is polluted. So we need to think of reducing, reusing, and recycling products to minimize the waste, to cut down the waste. So reducing means minimize the waste to minimize the work. What we can do? I'm just giving only few tips to follow in our day-to-day life. Only buy what you need. Simple. Choose products with less packaging. If you get more packaging is going into the trash, and it is polluting the environment. Buy in bulk so that the packaging will be less. And when you buy something, look for the items that you can reuse. Don't buy just use and throw products. So you can think of when you buy the products. Reusing means use again and again, more than once. So reuse materials and items so that they have longer lifespans and don't get thrown away after the first use. Many items found around the home can be used for different purposes. And even worn up a cloth, a dress which is not in a good condition to wear, can be converted into something else. Like, don't throw it in the dustbin. So it can be converted into a pillow cover, in a hand towel, kitchen towel, anything. So a piece of paper, just before throwing into the trash dustbin, just see if the paper can be reused. Are we using both the sides of the paper? All simple thing. So are we using use and throw bottles? So if we are using water bottles like that, we need to stop that. So refill a water bottle with water instead of buying new one all the time. So instead of just replacing your computer, update your computer, and that cut down a lot of energy. And definitely stop using plastic bags and start using reusable environment-friendly bags. And recycling means to convert materials waste into reusable materials. So now if you see the landfills, it is full of items that could be recycled. So recycling puts objects through a process that allows them to be used again. So when we segregate the waste, we need to segregate the waste which can be recycled. So the students should know what is degradable and non-degradable thing. So benefits of recycling is it reduces the need for landfilling, and definitely a lot of times we burn things, we incinerate. That should be, by then we pollute the environment, releases so much of carbon, and we can prevent the pollution, we can save the energy, and we can decrease the emission of greenhouse gases. And just now we saw that is the reason for global climate change. And we can conserve natural resources when we recycle things. So in finally, we can help sustain the environment for future generation. So here I'm going to spend few minutes, reduce, reuse. Based on this concept, in Uris College, we organize green stalls from 2017 successfully. For the past 3 years, we have organized this event, Green Stall, wherein we collect all the waste materials from the households. All the staff members, they bring all the waste in the sense which we may not use, but it must be used by somebody else. Our trash may be a treasure for someone else. So we collect, you can see a lot of electrical and electronic things, and clothes, lot of clothes which are in good condition. That is the condition we give to the donors. So we collect, our students go and collect, the staff bring in all the materials to the college. Our students segregate all, checks each and every dress whether it is in good condition, and it goes to the green stall. And we can plan very small amount so that they'll have some responsibility not to waste that, like 5 rupees, 10 rupees, like maximum of 20 rupees or 30 rupees. But last year in 2019, we put the stall totally free of cost. So that was here we do this during a festival which happens in our campus. In the 2017 and 18, over 5,000 people assembled there, and a lot of people benefited out of this green stall. And you can see a banner saying environmental service learning, which I'll be talking little later. This is the program which we have in our college. In NAC criteria, you can see criterion 7, they will ask you to show 2 best practices the institution has. So environmental service learning is one of the best practices NAC appreciates. So I would like to ask the institution make a note of it. If you are interested to launch this program, I can help you out in doing that. So here you can see a lot of environmental awareness as the students work during this stall. And for about 1 month, they work very hard, collecting all the materials, sorting out, ironing, segregating, packing, everything. So a lot of plants are distributed free. We get donors from Rotary, like that, staff members donate. And students, particularly students, learn a lot. It gives so much of environmental consciousness for the students, and definitely that makes a difference. You can see a lot of cycles, and which is all in perfect condition. And this is the mantra: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Nothing is wasted. Once it was all like lying down somewhere in different houses as waste, but that was a treasure for someone who came and took it. So you can see students washing all the utensils which came from different houses, cleaning up. And you can see here, we don't use banners, flex banner for all these programs. Students are making banner with Ashoka leaf, eco-friendly banners. And students are, this is a cloth, not plastic banners. This is simple cotton cloth. Out of it, we make students beautifully paint using water paint and Ashoka leaves. They make these banner. And you can see a lot of slogans are getting ready here for the stall to create awareness for the public and the students. And you can see a lot of a team working, uh, making paper bags. We don't use plastic covers to pack the things which people take from green stall. So paper with newspaper, they make paper bags that only we use. And you can see students involved in waste segregation process, and they iron all the clothes which we bring from different households. And this is the picture again showing about the green stall. And a lot of organic products are kept in the green stall to promote organic food, to give awareness to people. And tree plantation program. And here we keep a banner. This is also a cloth pledge board. So people who assemble there take a pledge to protect the environment. So this gives some awareness to the public and students. So pledge banner. And this is the stall which happened in the month of October last year. And you can see a lot of electrical and electronic stuff. And you can see the students actively managing their counters. And you can see some students, they made out of old sari, beautiful new frocks have been made. And see how they started reusing materials. This frocks looked so good, just like new frocks, but they are made out of old saris. So you can see here the stall is busy. And these bangles, all these things are made out of course they buy some material new to decorate it, but basically all these are out of old bangles. And these baskets, all these ornamental things are made out of plastic. So we should not throw the plastic. That can be converted into something beautiful product. And again, students working for the thing. And this is the program I mentioned, service learning program. So this is an effective link between the community and the academia. So this is this transforms the educated, and the communities. So this is one of the best practices NAC appreciates. And as I already told you, the 7th criterion needs 2 best practices for the institution to show. And this is what happens in service learning. And normally lab to land concept happens, but not land to lab again. So students learn something from the classroom and they take it to the community, do some community service, and they reflect on what they do, and they bring the reflection to the classroom to learn again. So this is the difference between community service and service learning program. And what is absent in community service is taking back community experience to enrich classroom learning. So I'll just go through quickly. Integrated learning, student voice, civic responsibility, and reflection are the key elements of environmental service learning. And in the year 2016, we launched service learning program in our campus. A team of experts from Bishop Heber College helped us to launch this program. So this service learning is a rewarding strategy to make education meaningful and purposeful in transforming self and society. So we can, as an institution, we can plan service learning programs And it is a mandate for every institution. We need to adopt a village. So I don't know CKNC have adopted any village to do the community service. If not, we can think about it. We have adopted an area called Suryakulam near our college, very close to our college. And we do, every department goes to that area. And we need, when we select an area, we need to select an area which is not developed, which have environmental issues. So only then we can do, we can see some result in that particular area. So when you choose an village, preferably a village which is close to your college, and do a survey and what are the environmental issues happening there, and in what way we can, our students can go and make a difference in the community. So adoption of a village is very important for NAC. And apart from that, students also do outreach programs like tree plantation, not only in the campus, we take them out. We encourage them to go out and do outreach programs. And there is an orphanage next to our college, and our students often go there to do some eco work. So they help not only the community, but also the students are benefited out of it. And I know every college will celebrate all these important days like Ozone Day, Earth Day, Soil Day, World Environment Day, like that. So it is important, the institution should, or the Eco Club can plan all the important days, celebration of all important days. We conduct Rangoli competitions, painting competitions, and art competitions, essay writing, all that. And this is the team of zoology. And we can bring out a lot of talents, their thoughts and feelings in these art competition, etc. So how can we do this? We can do this in two ways. One as a collective level, and another one as a personal level. So we need to change the system, and particularly we need to change our personal behavior. That is more important. I'm concentrating on this area. At personal level, we need to make a difference. So collective trust, we can act collectively in our responsibilities at the local level, state level, regional level, national level, and global level. So we do not know whether we can be part of a state or regional or national or global committee, but definitely we can part of a local body. So at local level, we have to make a difference. We can take part in local activities in our neighborhood, in our institution, in our community which is connected to our institution. We can make some differences. So we can advocate policies that reduce energy consumption and which assure species diversity. And we can place limits on land and land use and on waste. And in addition, we need to reverse the process of economic globalization toward the use of local products and services. So we need to redirect the whole economy towards technologies, industries, and services that foster sustainable lifestyle. And I just want to highlight this ecological justice demands that we attend, especially to poor and vulnerable. So how many of us think about the poor and vulnerable, the ones most affected by the ecological degradation, the farmers? So the poor people who are affected because of this ecological degradation. So are we doing justice to them? And at personal level, to become responsible citizens in our personal behavior. This is more important. My emphasis is going to be here finally as I end, and particularly in relation to that which is directly in our care. What is directly in our care? Our home and our institution. So every one of us are given a small piece of creation to take care of. we are responsible for, directly responsible for? Are we responsible? Are we taking care of the space which is given to me? Am I doing something in the place where I live, in the institution where I study, in the institution where I work? So this is the time of reflection wherein we need to check our personal level, personal behavior. So what can we do to conserve natural resources? So we are going to start today with very small things like turning off lights. And not only lights, turn off all the electrical gadgets and whichever is not in use, so that we conserve natural resources. Close the doors while AC is on. Decrease the use of paper, which is all very much possible for us. Throwing trash in the trash cans, and switching to non-plastic water bottles. This is such a vast topic, plastic problem. I'm not going into that, and I'm glad there is a lot of awareness among public to carry bags to the shops, and we are slowly cutting down the plastic bag usage. So let's totally switch over to non-plastic water bottles and bags. Please educate the family people and the students and who are studying in your institution. Drive less, this is more important. And you can walk or cycle, that is better. Or if the shop is nearby, even if the shop is nearby, we tend to go by bike. So car, if there are 4 people in a house, there will be 4 cars in some houses. So that leads to a lot of carbon emission. So carbon footprint will be more. So drive less, which is also very healthy. So use public transport. Maybe during this pandemic, it is not advisable. Maybe after the pandemic, use public transport whenever possible, so that we can cut down the carbon emission. And drive less, if possible, walk or cycle. And use green power like wind power and solar energy. Plant trees. Please plant trees, at least one in your lifetime. Prevent pollution. Eliminate toxic material usage at home and in institution. These are the very little things which we can do. Definitely, it is not a big task. When possible, buy organic materials. Eat real food, local food. Please support the local economy. And if you go to a market, if you buy the tomato, it is transported from miles away, and it lands in the supermarket. And if you eat real food, the farmers are the local food, the farmers are benefited. It is fresh, it is tastier, it has got good flavor. So before going to supermarket, think about buying local food to help the farmers, to improve the local economy. And finally, follow the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So when are we going to do this? Act right now on daily basis. There is no time for this, and this is already late. Please act right now. And we must learn to think and act ecologically. You may question, can I do this? As an individual, what impact I can create on the environment? So we think we cannot do anything, but we can do as an individual. I just quickly mentioned 2 or 3 people. This woman is Thimmaka. Probably you would have seen on the internet. She received Padma Shri in the year 2019, highest civilian award. She's not a literate. She didn't go to school, but she planted 385 banyan trees, what you can see here. This is the 4-kilometer stretch. And apart from that, she also planted 8,000 other trees. And she is 110-year-old, more than that. And if she can achieve this much, can't we do anything? Please think about it. This man called Arbit Surti, he is 84 years old. He is called India's water warrior. I actually received this clipping through WhatsApp. And he saved 20 million liters of water, just leaking taps. By fixing leaking taps, he saved so many million liters of water. Here is a 2-minute video. Please listen to what Abid Sutti says.
I grew up on the pavement. I have seen fights for one bucket of water. I am Abid Sutti, painter, author, cartoonist, and now I am going door to door correcting leaky faucets. I could hear the dripping sound. My body was at that time so sensitive. Every drop I could hear very clearly, like somebody is hammering on me. Imagine 1,000 liters of water means 1,000 bottles of drinking water. Somebody is pouring into the gutter. So I hired a plumber, went to all my friends' houses. The job was done and I felt so happy about it. It gave me some sort of relief. He said, Abhi bhai, why are you worrying about few drops are going only, no? Not the whole Ganges river flowing out of my faucet. When you are full of love to do something for society, God becomes your fundraiser. From 2007 till date, I have saved 20 million liters of water single-handedly. I am only 84, and if I can, you can.
He is 84. If he can, we can also do something to the society. And this man is Daripalli Ramaya, called Chetla Ramaya. Chetla means trees. Vanajivi Ramaya. Recently, few days back, I saw this post on Facebook. He is a recipient of Padma Shri again in the year 2017. So he planted 1 crore trees. And he seems he is a walking encyclopedia of plants. And imagine 1 crore trees. If he can do at this age, can't we do something to make a difference in this world? And this lady is from Bangalore called Janet, who planted 75,000 plants since 2006. And this is an amazing couple from Assam. And you can see a 110-year-old, 84-year-old can bring such a huge difference in the society. And see this young couple who are in just 20s. They established a school in Assam. They accept plastics as school fees. Initially, when they gave awareness to the village people not to burn the plastics, because that was the regular routine thing in that village. But the public didn't respond to it. And then they thought they will collect all the plastic as school fees. And now the students are bringing plastic, and that entire village is plastic free now. They don't use plastic, and even if the plastic is there, it comes as school fees. So that is an amazing thing what they do. So finally, I'm just coming to the end. Think globally, act locally. So everything looks like a global issue. It is a global issue, everything, but we need to act locally. Once we act locally in the place where we are put in, we can bring a change globally. So share what you have learned, lead by example first, and ask your friends and family to join you. And let the parting message be, those who help nature end up helping themselves. Thanks for your patient listening. And I once again thank the management of CKNC and the organizers of this opportunity.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation, madam. Your presentation is very interesting and we are surprised You shared a fabulous PPT, madam. You pointed out green initiative for institution, water audit and to save water, waste management, reduce, reuse and recycle. And you also gave an extraordinary idea to meet out the NAC re-accreditation. And you also pointed out community service. As you said, we pledge to conserve biodiversity, madam. Now, the session is open to the participants.
No, but we'll
Participants,
have the question section later on. Now we can have the introduction for the second speaker.
okay.
Oh.
Okay, participants, a kind information. Now, today we are going to have two sessions. A technical session 1 is over and technical session 2 is going to be carried out. We invite Dr. Vinkins Santosh for the technical session 2. Now, I call upon Mrs. D. Uma Maheshwari to introduce our resource person, Dr. Vinkins Santosh, for the technical session 2. It's over to you, Uma Madam.
Good morning to all. The speaker for the second session is Dr. Vinkins Santosh, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Advanced Zoology and Biotechnology, Government Arts College for Men, Nandanam, Chennai. About his educational qualification, he did his UG in American College, Madurai Kamaraj University, post-graduation and PhD in Madras Christian College, Chennai. He did his postdoctoral studies in France. About his professional details, he has 18 years of teaching and research experience. Dr. Vinkins has guided more than 10 PhD scholars. He is a visiting professor and visiting scientist to universities in USA and France. He is also involved in collaborative research projects in universities in Germany and UK. He has authored 11 standard biology and zoology textbooks for Tamil Nadu State Board. He is a resource person and trainer for Tamil Nadu State Council for Higher Education. He has written 2 books, Biology for Engineers and Human Brain, the Ultimate Machine. He has published more than 50 research articles in national and international journals. He has accomplished Young Scientist Award from DBT Government of India. He has received Best Teacher Award for 5 consecutive years from SRM University. Apart from teaching, our resource persons have contributed so much to research. If one wants to live a successful life, tied to a goal, not to people or things. Little things in life make big days. It's going to be hard, but hard does not mean impossible. Hence, the key to success is to focus on our goals and not on obstacles. Moreover, we should not settle for a limited experience of life. We may break it if there is a limitation. If we want to enjoy success before engineering situations, we have to engineer ourselves. Now, let us all listen to our resource person, Dr. Vinkins' talk on environmental endocrine disruptors and human health. I'm sure that we will have more messages to take home from today's webinar and follow them at home. Let us all take care during the Corona period. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind introduction, ma'am.
Thank you for joining us, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let me share my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Host disable participant screen. Can you ask them to enable my screen, ma'am, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Librarian, ma'am.
Yeah. Now they have done it.
Okay.
Very good afternoon. Can someone say? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. I know everyone is very hungry now.
Now this is the time for being hungry for knowledge, sir, not lunch.
Okay. That's good. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers and the Dr. Nirmal for giving me this good opportunity to share some of my area of research to all the participants. I welcome all the participants, scholars, students, faculty from all over India. Without wasting the time, I think we'll go to the talk. This environmental endocrine disrupting chemicals, EDCs as such, There's a very novel research work is going on in India. In all other developed countries, there are a lot of research how our endocrine system has been affected. So I'm going to the next slide. I would like to get some reply from our participants through the chat window. I'm asking just a simple question. Okay. Can you identify these personalities, please? You can type it in the chat window. There are 3 personalities here. Can you see them? Okay, good, good. Most of you typed it is Amitabh Bachchan and Donald Trump and Rajinikanth. Am I right? Okay, but actually, the truth is, all these 3 celebrities are look-alike. No, they are not Amitabh, they are not Donald Trump or Rajinikanth. So we actually, our own eyes, we got a little bit cheated. This is a kind of mimicking. No? They are not the real personalities. So the same way, if you see, this most of you could have known, this is called 17-beta estradiol. It's an estrogen, it's a female sex hormone. Okay, it's on reproduction and development and the secondary sexual characters, which helps. We see the structure of these chemicals, bisphenol A, or you take genistein, or you take most of the even parabens, they look like this phenolic structure. It's common and it's similar. So they sometimes behave as such the estradiol. So we'll see how they do it in the coming presentations. This is the typical definition given by WHO. It's endocrine disrupting chemicals may interfere with the body's endocrine system and produce adverse developmental, reproductive, neurological, and immune effect in both human and wildlife and its progeny. So my worry is about the progeny, because the exposure to the F0 or F1, that is mother or father, and it's been affected by the progeny. Okay, so we'll go through. The simplest way is EDC mimics and fools our endocrine system. Okay, this endocrine system can be fooled by these chemicals. 20-25 years back, you could have seen about these signboards: fight pollution, or don't pollute the lakes. This is a very common signboards you could have seen. But last 10 years, if you see, no plastic bags, recycle the plastics, or do not use plastics. And very specifically, if you see, say no to single-use plastics. It's like straws and the food packages. But recently in other countries, if you see, BPA-free, soy-free, and phthalate-free, and steroid-free, and endocrine disrupting chemicals-free. Okay, no dioxins. This is what we are working on. Stop hormone disrupting chemicals. Is it done by an industry or a layman? If you see, more than industry, the production is from the industry, but this has been dispersed by us. So in FDA, there was a huge protests. So everyone started asking to stop these chemicals. So get these hormone disrupting chemicals out of our food. And it's all making cancer. So FDA finally decided, start with in 2012, baby bottles can no longer contain bisphenol. So recent feeding bottles, if you see, it says BPA-free bottles and even water bottles also. It is because of the EDC protest where it happened in states. So what are the sources of these EDCs? Unfortunately, you name it, you have EDCs: food preservatives, pharmaceuticals, solvents, or personal care products, or even your what we use every day now in this pandemic situation, that is your hand sanitizers, disinfectants, paints, all plastic toys on your car seats. So this all flooded with these chemicals. So this is the major source. But if you see a little more specifically, all effluents, flame retardants, fungicide, herbicide, insecticides, and plasticides, and even soy products. These they all mimic exactly like the hormones which has been produced by our body. So this is a very important slide. The chemical and the effect on human. You take phthalate, precocious puberty, breast cancers, in early puberty, that is in girls. In paraben, again, breast tumors. And ethylene dioxide, it goes to breast. If the lead into fertility, okay, then triclosan in the toothpaste and the pesticides go and affect the thyroid. So any chemical which has been used by us, it is not directly, we don't want any phthalate, we don't want any paraben. We are using something else which might have these chemicals, which acts as an EDC. Okay, so how they act? A very simple method. It is in schools, you could have studied lock and key method. No, lock and key in the enzyme, whenever we studied, is exactly, they compete with the endogenous hormone and they block the receptors. So when you block it, there will not be any functions. Sometimes what happens, they block and some unwanted responses, that's early puberty or infertility or breast cancers. These kind of hormone related disorders may arise in the system. Okay. So what are the ways it can enter? If you see, through dermal, that is mostly through personal care products and cosmetics which we use, through skin and oral, that is a food, preserved food, or sometimes pharmaceutical. That's oral contraceptives commonly who are taking it. Next is inhalation through nasal. It is not only insecticides or pesticide what has been sprayed, the perfumes and deodorants which we spray also have these chemicals. Okay, so today, since we have only 40 minutes, we'll be talking only about dermal, which means the cosmetics and the other personal care products. So this is the very common PPT everyone shares, because starting drinking water to the bill papers and the food containers, and even in the non-stick cookwares. So everywhere you have EDCs. This is for a BPA, that is bisphenol A. It's very common. All medical tubes, this plasticizers, this is used, and your dental sealants and baby bottles. And this is actually, this plasticizer gives a very good look to the plastic, and it makes it a little more transparent. So they use it. So most of the countries, slowly they stopped using BPS. These are the books internationally about endocrine disruptors. In India, there are very few publications and books as such. So awareness should be created regarding EDCs. WHO in 2012, they've given, these are the disorders and diseases caused by EDCs: early puberty, PCOS. I think it was called PCOD, now it is PCOS, vaginal adenosis, preterm delivery, abortion, ectopic pregnancy, preeclampsia, intrauterine growth retarders, that is the babies is very small, cryptoxum, hypospadias, then severe sperm abnormalities. The final one, actually, neurobehavioral disorders, we are working on that also. These all the disorders and diseases caused by EDCs. So it is not just an assumption, it is all published research in endocrine disruptors. In NIH, you can see it creates breast cancers. If you see in India, in 2016, only 14.5 lakhs. In 2020, 17.3 lakh people suffers from breast cancers. This is diagnosed. If you take the report, without diagnosed, more than 30 lakh people may be suffering with this breast cancers. Then it acts on infertility. It's a very big area again, infertility in India. We'll discuss in later slides. EDCs on infertility. If you see our, about our population. This morning, 10 o'clock, this is our population. It's nearly 139 crores. It will be becoming 140 soon. But our total fertility rate has come down drastically from 4.7 to 2.2. It is not a good sign in any country. So in Tamil Nadu, if you see, it is just 1.6. Just imagine in India, 4.7 to 2.6. In here, it is 1.6. But the TFR is coming down, but you can see a lot of fertility centers in Chennai. Not only Chennai, this is all over India, you can see. Everywhere, nook and corner, if you see, you can, even in televisions and radio, you can see all advertisement about these fertility centers. More than 50,000 fertility clinics across the country, out of which, if you see, 80% IVF centers and 98% of ART units not registered with ICMR, which means they do not have a registered practitioner to take care of IVF or ART. But we have more than 50,000 units. Okay. So what are the possible causes of female fertility? You all know. It's very common factors here in India. 2.8 crore couples, they are suffering from infertility. There is no menstrual cycle. on polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, obesity, endometriosis, hormonal imbalance, and genetic disorders. These are the ways they classified. But recently, after 2012, they added EDCs, that is endocrine disrupting chemicals, which can cause infertility. Is it true? Yes. So infertility, PCOS and PCOD is one of the major reasons for infertility. It has been proven again. If we take PCOS cases in India, 1 in every 10 women in India has polycystic ovarian syndrome. And out of every 10 women diagnosed with PCOS, 6 are teenage girls. If you go to school visit, that is after puberty, 8th, 9th, 10th standard students, most of them are suffering from PCOS and PCOD. Okay. So not only that, already you know breast cancers, you said infertility, and PCOD, PCOS, now it is affecting the placenta. When we studied, we thought placenta, it's like the Great Wall of China. Nothing can cross placenta. But unfortunately, these EDCs, they cross placental barrier also. It affects the fetus. So this affects the mother, this affects the fetus. The fetus is still inside the womb. It is not yet come. Still, it has been exposed with the EDCs. So we used to ask, can these EDCs cross the placenta? We wanted to prove. So we designed a study within SRM Medical College. We were the first to report in India that yes, these EDCs can cross the placental barrier. So this was the first paper in General and Comparative Endocrinology where we published most of the chemicals which has been used by mother is crossed placental barrier. If you see the list, you'll be really shocked. Methylparaben, ethylparaben, propylparaben, all these are even butylparaben, all used in the personal care products. And BPA, triclosan is all even in plasticizers. Okay. So other than that, pharmaceutical, the mother was taking some of the medication for diabetic nephropathy and contraceptive pills and even antibiotics, some antidiarrheal, antidepressant. You just imagine a baby has been already exposed to antidepressant when it is inside the womb, where the amniotic fluid. So these are our finding. It was cited as in 2020's maximum cited papers. We were very happy to share that. This is how the baby inside the amniotic fluid, it swallows, drinks its own urine. Already it has been exposed to EDCs. It partially metabolized and excreted to urine. Again, it drinks back, and the bioconcentration of EDCs in the small baby system is so high. So it affects the baby again. In states, this is a very important. 99% of the pregnant women has been already exposed to this. It is not only exposed, in blood they have checked and they have identified. There are 232 toxic chemicals were found in the umbilical cord, and it is not at all a good sign. Okay. How they enter to the mouth, it may be through dermal and this inhalation, oral. But the problem is they have been stored in breast milk. So the baby will be fed with EDCs through milk. This baby is already exposed in embryonic exposure. So the baby supposed to be male or female, the sex differentiation might not happen properly. The brain development may not happen properly. So these are the things which has happened when it is inside the womb. But the F0 mother, F0 mother is exposed, well and good. F1 fetus already inside womb being exposed. The germ cell which is there in the baby, that is for a male in the testis or a female in the case of ovary, has been already exposed. And the F3 generation, where it is not related to the, it is not born, it is not delivered, it is inside the womb's germ cell, it has been also affected. So decline in fertility, PCOD, tumor development is there fixed earlier, the F3 generation and F0 itself. So it is not at all again a good sign. So we wanted to prove that using a mice model. Yes, it crosses. F1 and F2 also showed this crossing of these EDCs. This happens when it born, the baby, the mother who is exposed to EDCs, the childhood obesity is really high. Same way, the birth weight of male babies are also again very high. Then behavioral development. When we were in schools in 5th and 6th standard, you can see 1 or 2 students are hyperactive in the class. But if you see now in the school, out of 50, you can see nearly 35 students are hyperactive, running here and there, jumping up and down. This is a very classical symptom of hyperactivity. They normally say ADHD, attention deficit, and the hyperactivity. Okay. So see, this is what happened, the BP and phthalate. It is prenatal exposure. It's not the baby has been exposed. The prenatal exposure, because the mother exposed when she was carrying the baby, this has an effect on the small boys and babies. So this is again, we wanted to check. We used a zebrafish model to check whether the anxiety and stress and neurobehavioral changes. Yes, the reason in 2019 we published, yes, it does. Okay, you may think this is Michael Jackson. The first picture is original Michael Jackson. The last one, you all know what happened in between. There are a lot of cosmetic surgeries and a lot of skin bleaching, and he had vitiligo also. So when you use certain chemicals, when you use certain products which may not go well with our system, so you should know what you are using. Okay, this again in Tamil Nadu, everyone knows him. Okay, so this is again a star. But if you see him, this is the real Rajinikanth, not the other three. What made a difference? The simple personal care products and cosmetics, which has ethyl, methyl, propyl, and butyl paraben, which is not at all good. So you should know the product which you are using, which should not have parabens, it should not have toluene, it should not have phthalates, triclosan. So when you buy a lipstick or when you buy a product, you please see the label which shows the preservatives, what they have used. So here's in television recently, whoever switch on the television, if you see an advertisement, they'll say, when they talk about the personal care products, pal, that is milk and egg and badam and nillikai. You have tulsi, you have lemon, all cucumber, all natural products, and add little bit of olive oil also. But the main ingredient should come from Amazon forest. Amazon காடுகளிலிருந்து எடுக்கப்பட்ட something, I don't know what they take it from Amazon forest. Okay, this all together forms a single product on this, a shampoo or a conditioner. You see goat milk and camel milk and coconut milk and broken egg, papaya, all natural products. If you see them, what is the type of these shampoos? 36 months, which means 3 years. These shampoos, you can keep it without refrigeration for 36 months. Can you do this? Cow's milk, broken egg, coconut milk, tender coconut water, or cut cucumber. What is their shelf life? If you open it in kitchen, it is hardly 24 hours. Next day, it will be really spoiled if you don't keep it in the refrigerator. So you have to add something. Added preservatives to the increased shelf life. That is why. Because you don't want a product which has a lesser shelf life. You want, if you are buying a lipstick, it should be there for a year. If you can use it only for 24 hours, you won't buy it. If you are buying a shampoo, you want it for 3 years. So they add something that is called parabens. The parabens are a group of synthetic compounds commonly used as a preservatives, antibacterial, antifungal. You have to use it, but they are not good. So these are the photographs we have taken. The product, I don't want to show the product name, but definitely if you go to your bathroom or kitchen, you can see these products. They have methyl, propyl, and butyl parabens. It is not good for your system. So what it may have, shampoos, conditioners, lotions, facial, shower, cleanse, and scrubs, they all disrupt your endocrine system, and which may lead to, as we discussed, the PCOS or breast cancers or infertility. There are many ways. So you should look for this chemical in the label. There are many countries they have already banned. There are certain countries they banned only on baby products. In India, we don't have a regulation as such now, and we are working on that, I hope. So this is really very sad to see. You see all the lemon products, you take face wash or a conditioner or a soap, they want to show that we use lemon, lime, everything. See, power of 100 lemons in Vim. Vim is 10 rupees. 100 lemons should be, I don't know, 100 lemons of powers of 100 lemons. But when you drink this, they say no fruits It contains no fruit, only artificial flavors. So when you want to wash your dishes, you should have 100 lemons. When you want to drink it, you should have a chemical. So you should choose what you take. So what is the alternate for this? Do we have any alternate in this juncture? So there are people, they say, especially in Tamil Nadu, manjal, that is turmeric. So these are the natural product. If you use it, you will not get any bad effect of EDCs. So there are certain good about these products I would like to say. If you take aloe vera, it's a natural moisturizer. It treats rashes, cuts, bruise, and sunburn also. Avocado is amazing. The sun ray vitamin, which can nourish the skin. Turmeric, you all know, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. Henna, many people, they don't want to go for Garnier or any other hair color which has ammonia and other unwanted chemicals. They go for henna. It is really good. Little bit reddish and brownish, but you can definitely use it. Saffron also, it is cleansing the skin. And sandalwood, it for all glow your skin. Are we using personal care product and cosmetics in India and Tamil Nadu, Chennai? If you ask me, you may think we may not, but I'll show you one. There's something called beautification, especially on young girls, most of the college going girls. There's a step-by-step beautification, you might know. Face wash, face scrub, moisturize, primer, foundation, blush, highlighter, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, kajal, eyebrow pencil, lip scrub, lip balm, lip liner, lipstick, lip gloss. I don't have time. Okay, setting powder and setting spray. This is it is not in the right order. This is the beautification step. What happened? The result sometimes, if you see, not all the times, sometimes the result will be like this. Okay. So we should know what we use, what chemical we use. Okay. So the solution is this. You might think this is an amazing solution that is applying something on your skin and lying down for an hour. But I'm not for it. So this may not be right. But instead, you can take fruits and vegetables and eat and sleep. The healthy sleep is really good for you. Using mobile phones for lesser time. It is not for me. It is only for the participants actually. Okay. Come to the name. I wanted to complete within 30 minutes because already lunch time. Everyone is hungry. So there's no more slides on this. But I would like to say, protect your baby from parabens. Okay. So the personal care products or cosmetics which you use, you should know whether it has methyl ethyl propyl parabens or not, or it has any other unwanted chemicals. Sometimes the hair straighteners have formaldehyde. So you should read it before you use it. Okay. So in most of us, we feel, because the Dr. Nirmal showed some of the nice greenery in the street and other places. So my dream should be the water content, the lake should be like this. Or unfortunately, in reality, most of the lakes and river content here in this way. It is all man-made. So it is all you and me, no one else. Okay. So I'd like to actually thank the Department of Biotechnology, DBT, who funded my research project. Okay. And this is my research team, most of them scholars and students. This is my French collaborators and research team. I would like to thank. This is my boss, who has taught me everything on EDCs. He's my mentor. And he's my PhD guide, Dr. Moses Baraj. He is the person who led me through this endocrinology. So I'm here with himself. Still, we are in touch. Finally, I thank Dr. Uma Maheshwari ma'am and Nirmal to introduce me to this amazing group of people. My sincere thanks to the organizing team and the Department of Zoology. I wish all the best to all the participants. I know you'll be very eager to ask some questions. I think we can have 1 or 2 questions through chat box or even through mic also, if time permits. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. The session is open to the participants. Participants, those who are willing can ask your questions.
Ma'am, is it through chat or you're unmuting?
There is one question in the chat box.
Yeah, please ask, ma'am. Yeah.
What are the symptoms of EDCs?
EDCs.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think shall we reframe the question, please? Because symptoms of EDC is a chemical, endocrine disrupting chemical. Okay, when it exposed to you, okay, if you are exposed to this, the symptoms are in a different way. For example, if PCOD and PCOS, it is an extra hair growth, and the testosterone level will be high, and a little bit baldness in the head, and obesity. This is on PCOD and PCOS, and the menstrual cycle might not be in the right way if it is PCOD and PCOS. In the case of behavioral, in the different way, ma'am. So EDC exposure will have a different symptoms as such.
And one more question.
Please, ma'am.
Sir, as a common man,
okay,
what I do create awareness about the human effects of parabens in food and beauty products?
Okay, that's a very good question. I don't know. See, this is the right time for us to create awareness among the youngsters, because there are millions and millions of products been already dumped in our system, because India is the place where you can sell anything. So these products has a lot of chemicals, harmful chemicals. So when you buy a product, it can be a branded one or it can be from a local shop. You should see the label. What are the chemical contents it has and what are the effects of these chemicals? So if you see my presentation, you could have seen the chemical name and the effect of it. So you please, especially the early teen school going kids, if you can tell them, they may not use unwanted products in the unwanted time. That is my suggestion, ma'am.
One more question.
Please, ma'am.
How will average person understand these complex names?
Okay, so when you want to convey this, you should not talk about the endocrine at all. The word endocrine system is a really little more tougher. So you tell them, do not use the word EDC, do not use the word phthalate. You tell them that these are the harmful chemicals. It may give you cancer. If you add the word cancer, they'll be a little more alert, I feel. So EDCs as such, no need to tell them. When you want to create awareness in the public, avoid the name of EDCs, but you can tell them there's a harmful chemicals and preservatives there in these products, so you can avoid it actually.
Thank you, sir. We are receiving many appreciation and also questions in our chat box.
Okay.
There is another question.
Yeah,
have EDC found in food? If yes, then which food have the highest amount?
Okay, so actually food as such, when you cook at home, you will not have EDC, but when it has been preserved, and it's called canned food and tinned food, we say. In India, we may not use much. In abroad, they use. All the foods been already pre-cooked and preserved and kept it in a tin. The tin will have an inner layer of plasticizer and inner layer. So this will leach into your food, the soya or whatever we use. So definitely, there are products which has been, you take Coke or you take any tinned one, the inner layer will have an EDC chemical. It will leach into even our water bottle which we drink, which has a plasticizer. We keep it in the car, close the cars. Sometimes they leach into water. When you drink it, it will go in.
Sir, I have a question from our third year student, Neela, sir.
Please,
what are the effects of consuming fishes that are contaminated with endocrine disrupting chemicals?
Actually, if you take the market in Chennai, if you take 80% of the fishes have been exposed to EDCs. So this is normally we say bioaccumulation. So when this chemical goes inside our system through digestive, most of the time this metabolizes into something else. It has been digested. There are certain like heavy metals like lead and other things might not get digested. It will circulate in our system, which can become an EDC, and it will definitely affect. So EDC exposed fishes or any other food product eating is not at all healthy, ma'am. We should not do it.
Okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
One more question from Rubashri, sir. How can we prevent the effect of endocrine receptors?
There are two ways you can do it, ma'am. That is, one is the industry is not going to stop it. There are many regulations. For example, BPA has been banned. Slowly, triclosan also they are planning to ban. So what they have an alternate for a BPA. So these days, if you see the plastics in Tamil Nadu, in India, I think Tamil Nadu is the first state to ban single-use plastics, the straws and other things. Okay, when you ban certain things, when you go for cotton bags and when you go for a cloth bags, slowly in the environment we are not going to pollute these plastics. So avoid using plastics and plasticizers, and avoid using excessive of personal care products and cosmetics. This way we can avoid exposing into EDCs.
Thank you, sir. So can't we plan in a large scale to maybe we can implement policies to avoid all these chemicals? Totally, we cannot use all those chemicals. Why are they using all those things in the cosmetics and all that, knowing that they're going to cause so many problems in the health?
Yes, ma'am. So the thing is, when we see the first, when they bakelite and the plastics, when they found, I'm talking about more than 100 years, when they thought it is an amazing chemical. The plastic was the best invention, they thought. But slowly, when it comes to the environment, when it comes back our system, it started giving. So the researchers normally, when we do, see, endocrine receptor research are actually very recent one. So slowly we are studying one by one, what are the chemicals. So the industries, DDT has been banned. DDT is again EDC. DDT is banned everywhere. But now we use the erumbu powder. What we say, the small powders, we use it in a different name. So the product BPA may be banned, but BPA will come in a different name. So the contraceptive pills, the ethinyl estradiol, it comes in a different name. So the production of industry, they are not going to stop it unless and otherwise there is a regulation from the government. They won't stop it. But usage we can reduce it, ma'am. Definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That was a very good explanation, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. It was an excellent presentation and we learned a lot, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all. Thank you once again.
Can we have some questions for Nirmal, ma'am?
Yeah, Nirmal, are you there?
Nirmal, ma'am?
I think she has muted the mic.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. There are some questions from the participants. Can you please answer them?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. As educators, how strongly are we going to tell the students about the ecological concerns?
As educators.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what we have seen actually for about 1 hour. So it's our sole responsibility as educators to educate our community. So give them enough awareness. So whatever basic things what we have seen today, these are all very basic things what we can implement right away. So basic awareness is very important to give them awareness. So we every department, approximately 150 to 200 students, we pass through us every batch. So we have a lot of responsibility as educators to give awareness, to teach them. Apart from regular curriculum, side by side, we need to impart environmental consciousness to the students. And I'm sure students are perfectly responding to the ideas or the knowledge what we share with them. Yeah, we can see the result.
One more question from the participant named Srividya. Madam, due to global warming, the ozone layer was damaged, but due to COVID, it has been recovered. How do you justify, ma'am?
So this global, no doubt during the pandemic, the carbon dioxide, that was during the early pandemic, not now. Definitely the carbon dioxide, carbon percentage has gone down during the month of April and May. There was a drastic decrease in the percentage of carbon, but still climate change is something which cannot be predicted or confirmed in few years. It takes so many years to see the climate change, a difference in the climate change. So global warming or climate change is a years of change. Only then we can say about the global warming or climate change. So this brief drop in the carbon dioxide percentage is not going to give us any solution for that.
Okay, there's one more question from Dr. Paul. Madam, can you suggest innovative ideas to Eco Club implementation?
Eco Club implementation.
Implementation.
Okay, it's very simple to implement. You mean implementing Eco Club?
Yeah. Madam, can you suggest innovative ideas to implement Eco Club? Eco Club in implementation.
Okay,
That's a
it's very
question he has typed.
Okay, it's very simple. You can have a coordinator, a person who can take over this responsibility, and you can have student leaders in your college, office bearers for this club. It's something like any other club, like Red Ribbon Club, OERC, something like that. So here you can get students from all the uh, classes, particularly from the UG, first and second year UG students. So you can encourage them to join. So they have extension activities in the college. That is part of our curriculum, extension activities. So students can be part of any club in the college. So you can encourage some students to join the Eco Club. So you can coordinate, you can have student leaders actually. So the staff coordinator will be there to monitor the whole work, to help the students, guiding the student to coordinate all the work. And simultaneously we can train the student leaders to take up the responsibility, and that works well. And it is very simple. You can just straight away go for an inauguration to start the Eco Club.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nirmal. So one more question from Karthik Mandal. How do we increase the awareness about saving biodiversity in an illiterate person?
Even this doesn't have involve any technical thing. Everyone knows we need a fresh water to drink. Everyone needs fresh air to breathe. Everyone needs a clean environment to be healthy. So this doesn't need any education, great education to understand this. So if you want to be healthy, we need to keep our environment safe. And by the way, we have to keep the next generation in mind, so that we can easily tell them how energy is important, how biodiversity is important, life around us is important, the activities are important, how this simple carbon dioxide, carbon emission, that can be easily explained because we need oxygen, and we need to reduce the carbon emission. So it is very easy to make people understand, to bring ecological consciousness among them, even if they are illiterates.
Thank you, Dr. Nirmal. It was an excellent explanation. Kadambari ma'am, are you having any questions from the participants?
Okay.
Otherwise, I think we can.
Yes, madam. No, madam, we are receiving continuous appreciation.
Okay.
Okay, madam.
Ask
Dear
principal ma'am. Ask principal ma'am so that we can.
Principal madam. Principal madam. Yeah, madam. There is no more questions from the participants. Shall we conclude here?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Dear
Am I
madam.
audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
ma'am.
You're audible. You're audible.
Okay.
Dear invited speaker, Dr. Nirmala Magdalene and Dr. Vinkin Santosh, your presentation was very excellent, and we are really benefit out of it, and it's a very informative and fruitful session. Thank you so much, madam. Now, may I invite our principal, Dr. K. Mullai, to deliver the oath of thanks.
Thank you, Kadambari. Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Good afternoon to one and all participating in the webinar. It's my pleasure and privilege to propose vote of thanks to express my gratitude to everyone who made these 2 days happen for the Department of Zoology. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. John Kennedy. I owe my sincere thanks to all the speakers of the webinar. My heartfelt gratitude goes to Mr. Bhuminathan, who gave an excellent talk on wildlife and their habitats in Tamil Nadu. It was like taking our morning walk in the jungle. The talk was very interesting, and your work with animals, that too with elephants, made me, and of course, must have made all the participants very glad. Your presentation was great, sir. We all enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you, sir. The next speaker, Dr. V. Deepak Samuel, presented the topic Mangrove Associated Wildlife. His presentation was excellent. The study of mangroves and associated wildlife is very interesting topic. The presentation was very good, and I am sure all the participants and our students would have gained a lot of information on the topic. Dr. Deepak's talk, she lights on the threat to mangrove. Much of that clearance is to reclaim land for agriculture, industrial development, many more. Thank you, sir. Today's speaker, Dr. Nirmal McDonnell, gave an in-depth talk on ecological concerns for sustainable living. She did a great job by enforcing the concerns for the environment. Sustainable living is the need at present. The speakers talk on the topic threw light on various ecological concerns. It was very informative. I am sure our students would have learned more on the topic and on the whole, learned to be environment friendly. The last speaker, Dr. Vinkin Santosh, gave a detailed picture of environmental endocrine disruptors and human health. Sir, your talk on the environmental endocrine disruptors and human health was very enlightening. Thank you, sir, for a detailed explanation and for the effort taken by you. Thank you all for your support. Your thoughtfulness will always be remembered. I am running short of words right now. Thank you all for the knowledge shared. Thank you all for answering all the questions from the participants patiently. Next, I thank my team of teachers. Special mention goes to IKC Coordinator, Dr. S. Jansi Sophia, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, IKC Secretary, Dr. R. Ramya, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Dr. G. Kavita, Assistant Professor of Economics, Mrs. Kadambari, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry, Mrs. Anbu Jabamalar, Librarian, and Mrs. Sumalata, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, for their hard work and dedication for conducting this webinar. My special thanks goes to Ms. Sadhana, Project Manager, Fire Sky Media and Technology, Chennai, for their goodness, kindness, and support from Square One. I thank faculty members from our college, other colleges, and the students who participated in this program. These 2 days, we had a very good time. It was like living in the jungle with wildlife and learning to the environment friendly. Education should be broad-based for physical, emotional, and mental well-being. We are just baton carriers from our generation to another. If we organize our time and energy, we will be the greatest miracle in the world. Once again, thank you one and all for making this webinar a successful one. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for your heartfelt words. Thank you so much, madam. Now, we have come to an end of this session. An important note to the participants, feedback link is being shared in the chat box of Zoom and also in the description box of the YouTube. You are requested to fill out the feedback form and you will receive an confirmation email in your mail ID, registered mail ID. You are requested to fill out that and you will be receiving your e-certificate. And we will wait for some more time. You take your time to fill out your feedback form. We will keep this platform open for another 10 minutes participants are requested to fill out their feedback forms. Those who have filled out their feedback forms can leave the meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Nirmal and Winkins, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
It
much.
was an excellent. We had really good time these 2 days. Thank you all so
Anna,
much.
I had to rush because it already time is.
It was okay, sir. That's the correct thing you did, sir. It was fine, sir. Thank
Otherwise,
you,
people
sir.
will get bored. No, without that. Thank
Yes,
you so
sir.
much.
It was fine, sir. It was fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye,
ma'am.
bye, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, madam, and thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
Sophia ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we end the meeting?
No, we have to wait for another 10 minutes. Kadambari madam told me.
Okay.
Kadambari ma'am,
Madam,
shall we
yes,
end the
madam.
program, ma'am?
Some